Today we'll be talking about Honda single overhead cams from the 1970s, and today we'll be talking about this one in particular, 1974 Honda CB550. And when the customer first brought it to me, it was weeds were growing through it. There was ivy growing through it, and I was given $1,000 budget to put it back on the road. That's not much, but it goes to show that with a little bit of ingenuity and maybe even taking off, removing parts altogether versus replacing them, you can stay in a short, tight budget. And as you can see, it's actually very beautiful. Now I'm gonna walk you around it and see where the $1,000 went, and we'll talk about parts. So I'll say right off the get-go, the paint was not done by myself. It was not included in a $1,000 budget, which was good because it was much to begin with. But the $1,000 basically bought the club and handlebars. It bought new rubber gaiters for the forks. All the maintenance and brake fluids and engine oils, and I switched to pods because, well, the stock air box is problematic to install, and the pods do look a lot better. The exhaust needed quite a bit of work because these older Hondas, if they have a 4x4 exhaust, they're very rusty and beat up, and I had to do quite a bit of mending to bring this exhaust back to life. The tail light and bracket for the license plate, I made a few of those a few years back, and I've exhausted my supply, and I don't think I'll remake them again. But they're a bit too small. But it replaces the big box, tail light the Honda came stock with. That seat is the original. It flips upwards. There's a latch over there that uses the ignition key, and this is the original seat that's been de-skinned and foam replaced and then shaped into a more pleasant shape, something that goes with the fuel tank and the profile of the bike, and then reupholstered with nice and simple classic lines. Nothing extraordinary, but it's soft. It can carry a passenger on the back, if you will, and I even retained the passenger packs for that reason. This was my number 10 build. I built this bike about, I don't know, 11 years ago, somewhere thereabouts. But the stock flip-up fuel cap is still beautiful. The gauges were removed, or the gauges, not all of them. I kept the idiot lights in its original environment, but no speedometer and no tachometer either, because it took away from the lines. But I think this is so simple and elegant. It's a very beautiful motorcycle, and being a 4-cylinder, what else are you gonna do with it? You can't. I never seen a good-looking chopper with 4 cylinders, or a bobber for that matter. And a scrambler with 4 cylinders is not a good scrambler. The only thing the 4 cylinders are good for is speed. High RPM speed. As a matter of fact, the engines doesn't even wake up until about 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs. But another thing, I almost forgot to mention, those headlight ears. I simply inversed them upside down because the ears were over there, and Japanese bikes usually have the headlight way up there. It's just very unsightly. So I was able to bring the headlight down and to make a better line with the fuel tank and the seat, and that was a free. I didn't have to spend any money on that adventure, but retains the kickstart. I love the kickstart. I think all motorcycles should have a kickstart. And these I used to make out of stainless steel, and this one is still stainless steel. Since then I have replaced them with plastic. Plastic is much more forgiving and quite a bit lighter. Aluminum is too fragile for that point. I removed, there was quite a bit of rust on the fenders and just about all the sheet metal. So I just removed the rust and used too shiny where it wasn't rusty. I broke up the gloss with a little brill, a little grinding grit paper, emery cloth and such, but same thing with the exhaust. This one appears to be leaking a little bit of oil. The customer brought it back for maintenance and some attention. I replaced the points with electronic ignition, and I will see how 2 carburetors work instead of 4 carburetors, because I believe it will make quite a bit of difference. But that's about it for this motorcycle. So you don't have to have a lot of money to make a beautiful bike. You just have to do your homework a little bit and do a little bit of work yourself. And I think that covers that bike. This bike we won't talk about yet because this is an ongoing project. But this is also a Honda CB550. And it's 1977, so it's a few years later than that one. But we won't talk about it today because if you want to see more details on that bike, you'll have to come back. Check out my future episodes where I'll be talking specifically about that bike. But this is Motonisto number 10. And I goes to show you what you can do with an older Honda 4-cylinder with a limited budget. And with that, I'll say goodbye until later.